Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Matt Jarbo, and have you guys been following any of this information surrounding the Free Britney movement? I just got wind of it last night, and I started looking into it a bit. I wanted to talk about it because it's really weird. It's really crazy that this is where Britney Spears' life has ended up. This is where her life has gone. If you look here on the sidebar, you see WTF is hashtag Free Britney. Well, if you come over here to Instagram, you can see that you've got 3,193 posts on Instagram. Twitter's doing pretty well as well. But we get an idea here through the pictures people are using on Instagram about what the hell's going on with Britney Spears. Why Free Britney? We can see here locked in a cage. People are saying the lie is over. Britney Spears allegedly entered mental health facility against her will. That's currently the narrative that's going around. I mean, so much so that this is being talked about here with this Free Britney tag. There's a lot of that flowing around, and people who love Britney Spears are really getting behind this. And look, I can't fault anyone for that. Period. I can't fault anyone for trying to look after her. I mean, we're around the same age. Brittany and I believe are the same age. We're both 37. I grew up listening to her music. I remember when "Hit Me Baby One More Time" hit the airwaves in the late 90s. I remember rocking to it with my friends, driving through the streets of Portland, not giving a single shit. So yeah, Britney Spears has been as much of a staple in my adult life as any other pop culture star, and I still love her music. So I'm curious to know more about what's going on, and I was surprised that even the talk, Sarah Gilbert here, was talking about it, and this is how she summarizes the whole situation.
Britney's brand raised the question. Here's the backstory. In January, Britney canceled her new Las Vegas residency after claiming she needed to take care of her father, who had surgery for a ruptured colon. Then on April 3rd, Britney posted about self-care on Instagram and reportedly checked into a mental health facility because she was so distraught over her father's illness. But now, a paralegal working on Britney's conservatorship reportedly said Britney did not check herself into that facility, but instead was taken there in January against her will. Britney's father reportedly discovered Britney had stopped taking her bipolar medication, so he canceled her Las Vegas show and had her committed. Then yesterday, someone commented on Britney's mom's Instagram, quote, "I really hope your ailing ex-husband isn't keeping your daughter somewhere against her will." Lynn then liked that comment, and she liked multiple fan comments with the hashtag Free Britney. So, do you believe Britney Spears is being held against her will?
Now that becomes the question of the hour, isn't it? Is Britney Spears being held against her will at a mental facility somewhere inside of Nevada? I would assume it's Nevada or California, somewhere in there. We don't know which facility, but it's true. She did, in fact, cancel her residency in Las Vegas back in January, and it was to take care of her ailing father. Now, her father is her conservator, and that is a new word I'm learning. It's a new word I'm learning. It basically means guardian. That's what it means. It just means guardian. That's all it is. He's a person that looks after her and looks after her well-being and everything else. But that's a load of crap. He basically at this point kind of controls everything here. So taking a look here at just this article, because this is one of the ones that's going around right now. It's like Free Britney. Why Britney Spears fans are saying the pop star is being held against her will. And that is, look, Britney Spears being held against her will in some mental facility somewhere is tragic. But she has had problems. She has had problems. So you have to ask yourself, is this real or is this not? It's a question. Now, the article says here that Britney Spears fans are saying that they believe the pop star is being held against her will in a treatment facility, and they're spreading the hashtag to get the word out. According to the host of the Britney's Gram podcast, there may be evidence that the singer's recent admittance into a mental health program might be a move related to her ongoing conservatorship that she is legally under. Now, this goes back again to 2008 when she had that mental breakdown. Do you recall that mental breakdown of Britney Spears shaving her head, going all cray-cray? It was a weird thing. It was a weird thing to see back then. But ever since then, she got clean, supposedly, after the whole Kevin Federline situation. ended up getting her life back on track, released multiple albums, has gone on multiple world tours, and had the residency in Las Vegas. This is a person who appeared to be absolutely in control, but they needed a guidance. So the podcast in question here featured a recent episode that played a voicemail from an anonymous person who claimed to be a former member of Britney's team and stated that the rumors that she was being held against her will were true. Now, this particular podcast, the Free Britney podcast, this is their SoundCloud page. But look, I'm not trying to discredit them. I don't know. But this is the only post on their page. And it's just this one that went up a day ago. It's just this one that went up a day ago. So I don't know. I don't know how long they've been around, but apparently they've been around for a while, because coming over here to their Libsyn page, we can find that this is the first podcast right here, which went up November 2nd, 2012, saying, in this inaugural episode from Britney's Instagram, comedians Tess Barker and Barbara Gray discuss their reason behind starting the podcast, and they break down Britney's video of her painting on the veranda. Now, from what I can gather about this particular podcast, Britney's Gram is just a show that's been on for almost 2 years, or a year and a half, from two women who are utterly obsessed with Britney Spears' Instagram. Okay. I mean, okay, fine. That's how they want to do it. I'm not gonna knock them. But they've been at this for a while, and apparently they've developed a small enough following to where they were given this, they said, verifiable source, a verifiable podcasting, a voicemail came in. And I'm not too sure how I feel about that, because at this point, people are saying, I mean, there's literally a comment here on the SoundCloud where they talk about this guy right here. Roy Mathis says, please don't reveal your source publicly. But the thing is with that, when you go out there and you have this voicemail that says, this is it, this is what we know, and you don't reveal who that person is, I don't know. I find it to be a little bit on the suspicious side. However, they did go as far as to play the voicemail. So let's give that a listen.
Hi there. I cannot disclose who I am. I just heard the latest episode. You guys are onto something. I used to be a paralegal for an attorney that worked with Britney's conservatorship. I am no longer with them. And what is happening is disturbing, to say the least. So, basically, Britney was in rehearsals for Domination. It came to Jamie Spears, that Britney was not taking her medication as prescribed. She was missing a lot of doses and just full on not taking them. So they got her to the doctor. The doctor said, okay, if you don't want these medications, let's get you on a new one. Well, she refused to take the new one. So Jamie said, either you take this medication or the show's off, and I'm pulling my support and you can't do it. Britney did not follow Jamie's instructions, and so he was true to his word. He pulled the show. He verbatim said, blame it on my illness. And that's when we get the early January Instagram. Fast forward a couple days, Britney's still not following through with her medication. And as you guys have mentioned, she is seen with Sam driving. A big no-no on, it's a big rule that she broke. Britney has been in the mental facility since mid-January. Of course, the statement yesterday said she entered last week. That is not true. She's been in there since mid-January. And there is no timeline. Granted, I haven't worked at the company or at the firm for about a little over 2 weeks now, but there is no end particularly in sight for this stay at this mental facility to end. She did not want to go. She, I of course, I'm just a paralegal. I haven't had any contact with her, but from what I understand, this was not a decision she made at all.
Okay, so the guy says that he's a paralegal, left the company 2 weeks ago, the law firm 2 weeks prior to this email going out, to this voicemail being called in. Hasn't had any contact with her, and through the grapevine, this is what he understands. So look, they said they verified it with him, but they're not going to reveal their source. I figure whoever is with that law firm, if this gets back to them, they're going to listen to that, and they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I recognize that guy. I recognize that voice. I mean, it's a law firm. People are going to know. They're going to ask questions because that's going to come back to bite them in the ass. So they're going to obviously look for that one. So who knows if that is legitimate or not? I don't know. I'd like to believe that it's real, that a person came forward to whistle blow on Britney Spears being held against her will. I don't like the idea of anyone being held against their will. So for anyone listening that is upset at my skepticism, it has everything to do with I don't know. Neither does anybody else in this particular case know what the hell is going on. Although maybe this woman does. This is a Twitter profile from, and I'm not kidding, this is the name of the account, @emailmypussy. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you at all. That's the name. That's the name of the account. So this woman has this thread, and I will link to this thread in the video description, but she has this thread where she talks about everything involving Britney Spears from 2008 to current in regards to the conservatorship and everything going on with her. And I just want to read a couple of these at the beginning to give you an idea about the history of it. Now she says here, the truth about Britney Spears post 2008 exposed. The shady dealings behind one of the largest civil rights violation in history. #FreeBritney. Saying, it's not a secret that in 2007, Britney Spears went through a very public mental breakdown. She was struggling due to her divorce, postpartum depression, anxiety, and a possible bipolar disorder. That's where her father decided to step in. Britney was placed under a temporary conservatorship, if I could say that correctly, in February 2008. But what you probably don't know is how incredibly shady and fraudulent the whole process has been. And this is Lou Taylor, the woman who happens to be Britney's current business manager, who was the mastermind behind the conservatorship. And in 2008, Britney was tried to retain a lawyer, and they didn't let her because she was deemed incompetent. And this list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. For a while, it goes on. But here's a couple relevant bits here. So this post here says, under the conservatorship, Britney, a 37-year-old woman, isn't allowed to freely vote or get married. But at the same time, she has toured the world 3 times since 2009 and released 3 albums since then. Now, that to me is as big of a red flag as one could have in this particular story. That 2009 or 2008 is when this conservatorship happened. In 2009, since then, so in 10 years, she's traveled the world 3 times performing, released 3 albums, did the residency in Las Vegas, and a lot of other things. But she's not able to freely vote or get married or, as the voicemail said, even drive a damn car. That's a problem. That is a problem. Even this post here, it says a 2015 report says that the conservatorship is now being made lifetime. It was meant to be a temporary, limited thing. That's what it was meant to be. It was meant to be a temporary, limited thing. And for the last 4 years coming up on, it's been made lifetime. How bad is Britney Spears right now? How bad are things for Britney Spears that she's in a position to where she's being effectively controlled for life from her father, who, according to that voicemail, canceled everything because she defied him? That to me is scary as hell, to be honest with you. That to me is really scary. Like, I have no idea how true that is, how realistic that is. I have no idea. It's very scary. So I'm going to keep my ear to the ground on this one because to me, I'm not too sure what to believe here. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know what to believe. My thoughts on this are Britney is in a bad place. Britney is in a bad place if she's not posting publicly and hasn't in a while. They said she's currently in a mental health facility for the last couple of weeks but people are saying it's been a few months. That's definitely an issue. Because would her I don't know what I want to call it. I want to call it an ailment. Is that what you would refer to as bipolar? As an ailment? A mental disorder. How about that? It's a mental disorder. I'm not too sure if that would ultimately have an impact on, her father. I don't know if her father has been controlling her life for a decade. And then he had ailments. And so she abruptly canceled a residency in order to look after him. And her mother is on Instagram liking posts with the tag Free Britney. Liking posts about her daughter's freedom, knowing what she knows. It's a crazy thing. This could just be another internet overblown overreaction situation. Or this could be a moment in time where we're finding out that a beloved pop star for the last 20 years is being held against her will in a mental institution somewhere. So I don't know. I mean, I saw Shane Dawson talking about this, which is kind of how it came to my attention. And I'm very curious to see where things are going to go with it next. So I leave it to you guys. Your thoughts, your opinions. Is this real? Is this legit? Is she full of shit? Is what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day and peace out.